Hello, Newton North. I'm Vassily. Welcome to today's episode of the NN Update.
And I'm Caroline McGinn. Spring has sprung, the days are getting warmer, and masks are optional.
In our first story, reporter Sarper talked to the experts and decision makers to find out what went into dropping the mask mandate in school.
Masks have been a big part of the classroom over the last 2 years, but on Tuesday, March 8th, this changed when the mask mandate in Newton schools was lifted, with the guidance of the NPS Medical Advisory Group. The opportunity to unmask has not yet been adopted by all. Many choose to keep their masks, but how many still do? After 3 weeks of mask optional, many students are beginning to feel comfortable without masks.
I choose to keep my mask off because we've had masks on for so long, and if I'm able to, I don't wear it because I'm more comfortable not wearing it.
I think it's good to be optional, but if COVID numbers do rise again, I think it should be restricted that everyone has to wear one again.
Yeah, so definitely.
Dr. Nelson, an infectious disease expert at the Massachusetts General Hospital and a member of the Medical Advisory Group, explains why the mask mandate has been lifted in our school district.
The why now question I might shift to why not now. And I think there are a number of factors that went into the decision. One of them is that we have relatively low rates of disease in the community. The other is that we have widely available vaccines that are highly protective, and including for children down to the age of 5. So I think that we've met all the criteria for unmasking, and that to me suggests that now is a reasonable time.
The mask mandate coming off in certain settings was not only an infectious disease choice, but also there are many mental health benefits to this shift.
Moving back towards something that is normal is extremely helpful for the mental well-being of our student population. If there was no negative to masks, we would mask indefinitely.
Newton Public Schools Superintendent David Fleshman explains our need to be flexible with masking requirements.
We have to be in a position in Newton to be able to, shift pretty quickly from going to mask optional or mask friendly to having a mask mandate. And I think we've proven that we'd be able to do that. It's also important that we continue to consult with our medical advisory group and use their expertise the way we've been doing all along.
With the many variants and the waves this virus brings, there is likely one coming in the future, and that brings a potential for a mask mandate coming back.
I think there's a good chance that we will see masks go back on at some point in the future. I do think the pandemic is going to be with us, likely indefinitely. We will continue to see surges and waves over time. Hopefully they'll become less burdensome. One of the things we're hoping to avoid is large-scale absences. So if we begin to see more absences in school, then that would also be a clue that masks should be able to go back on.
Dr. Nelson believes the choice to wear a mask is a personal choice that should not be influenced by outside pressures.
Everyone's personal comfort is different and everyone's home environment is different. So anybody who wants to should be able to wear a mask really at any time.
For Newton North TV, this is Sarper.
Another positive result of lower COVID rates is the relaxing of social distancing, which has been a blessing for our school's collaborative extracurriculars.
After months of rehearsing, Theater Inc.'s second annual choreography project recently took place. With a full cast performing to a live audience, reporter Bella Rousseau brings us backstage to see how the show twirled together.
Last year, Theater Inc. performances were smaller and rushed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. But this year, directors Lily Reneker and Gabby Vogel are bringing many dancers from all around North to perform in the choreography project.
We wanted to direct the project because last year we had such a positive experience with it, and we wanted to be able to create a great experience for all of the students who wanted to be a part of the show this year.
Choreography Project is a show directed, performed, and choreographed by students. With a larger cast, the variety of dance was able to expand.
This year we've expanded a lot. We have over 30 dancers and over 15 dances, and we really wanted to take the feeling of being accepted, and so we have dancers of all different experience levels. I'd say there's a lot more different styles that we have. So this year we have a tap number, we have a couple musical theater numbers, which we didn't get to have last year because of the minimal size.
The large community has allowed for more variation for dance, but along with it came coordinating struggles.
Being able to communicate with both the dancers, the choreographers, the adults, between us even, and being able to like navigate that has been a challenge throughout the process and a learning experience.
And also, since the show was so small last year, just coming up with a vision has been a little bit tricky because we want to set like the stepping stone for all of the future choreography projects.
Even given some upscaling struggles, the Choreography Project offers an opportunity for a newfound community of dancers at Newton North. Dancers and choreographers like Mikhail Huntington have found their place in Theater Inc. during Choreography Project.
It's just fun to be able to choreograph a lot of dances and to get to see them on a stage with a big group of people. That like this is something I really, really love doing, is like choreographing and getting to like teach dancers and getting to see them like, you know, to see my own visions lived on a stage, and also getting to see them take that choreography and kind of make it their own thing.
Do you want me to do it with you? Just do it by yourself.
With everyone coming together to build this show, the cast is excited to see what the future of Choreography Project holds.
I'm hoping it just keeps getting bigger. I hope we have even more choreographers next year so we can build an even bigger team of the leaders of the show. And also just to attract more people from all different parts of the school. Everybody will know about Choreography Project in the future.
Vassily, you should try out next year. It really gets the blood flowing.
And that's a perfect segue to our next story. Due to the pandemic, our nation's hospitals are facing a major blood supply shortage. Reporter Sean O'Neill went to the Newton Wellesley Hospital to track down more about this story.
The U.S. blood supply has become dangerously low.
The American Red Cross says it desperately needs blood.
And that has never been there in a the Red Cross
There's a national blood crisis for the first time.
The average human body has 35 trillion blood cells, and these cells are vital to the way our bodies function. So what happens when someone doesn't have enough of these essential cells constantly flowing through us? Typically, hospitals would have plenty of blood to supply these people with, but due to the pandemic, donation levels were at an all-time low, says Daniel Koeliker, the blood bank director at Newton Wellesley Hospital.
We were probably already in the throes of a very serious blood shortage, like had not been seen in this country by persons, physicians, and technologists who'd worked in the blood bank for years and years.
With this shortage, it didn't change the need for blood, but in some ways increased it, as hospitals saw donations fall 10%, 60% of which being high school and college age.
So we had a certain amount of blood in the hospital, enough to take care of 1 or 2 patients bleeding very, very seriously. But once that was used up, American Red Cross told us, we don't have any reserve to send to you that day.
Meaning if this were ever to happen, they wouldn't be able to supply a patient in need with enough blood, which is a matter of life and death. Donating may just seem like something you're doing for a complete stranger who you're never going to meet. But what you may not expect is how it helps you. Katie Kakachi, who coordinates the blood drive here at North, talks more about the importance of donating.
Because each donation saves about 3 lives. Very, very needed. And I think just instilling in people the values of giving back to their community is important.
Teens 17 and older, or 16 with parental consent, can sign up to donate through the Red Cross or any other donor center, and can continue to donate throughout their lifetime.
I think the Red Cross really likes the opportunity to expose students to this idea of donating when they're 16, 17, 18 years old, with the idea that they'll continue to be adult donors.
40% of the population is able to donate blood. But of that 40%, only 5% actually do. That's because many people think they're either too old or they're on some medication they think makes them ineligible to donate. But most of the time, this isn't the case. So that's why it's important you call your doctor to see if you can donate blood. From NNTV, this is Sean O'Neill.
What an important story. Thanks, guys. For more information about how you can donate blood, visit the Red Cross website.
At North, we are fortunate to receive a world-class education from some of the best teachers in the practice. However, this might not last forever. Due to lower funding allocations, the central administration has been put in a tough position, possibly needing to cut around 50 teachers and support staff this upcoming year.
Reporter Andrew Hirschberg investigates.
Housed in the attic of 46 Austin Street in Newtonville is the Newton Teachers Association, headed by Mike Zillis, a vocal opposer to these budget cuts that will affect all schools in the system.
You can expect to see larger class size. You can expect to see a reduction in the staffing around counseling. Those are the 2 primary ways in which you're going to see an appreciable difference. Instead of being in a class of 26 or 27 students, you may be in a class of 30, even more.
Are there any benefits to this budget cut?
None whatsoever. There's only harm. I mean, the harm is going to come primarily to our most vulnerable students. A lot of the positions that are being cut are supports that we put in place over the last 5-6 years to support our most vulnerable students.
This has left the community in outrage. On Thursday, March 31st, teachers, parents, and even students gathered at City Hall to protest this change rocking their schools and to spread the message that these budget cuts need to stop.
I know this is not why we want to be gathering here together, but I have to say that this community has come together in a way that I've not seen in my 12 years as Newton Teachers Association president.
The rally brought the community together in support of our schools. Not only is it Mike Zillis' job to be against the cuts, but he has his own personal beliefs as well.
I'm just appalled with it. I mean, we dealt with a pandemic. That we had to deal with. We should not be dealing with these budget cuts. They're unnecessary. The funding is there to get us through.
For New North TV, this is Andrew Hirschberg.
How do we get it? What do we want? How do we get it?
We have an update on this story. Due to the efforts of many, Mayor Fuller released an additional $1.6 million to restore some positions around Newton Public Schools. This has been very well received by many teachers, students, and parents around the community.
That's great news. Next up, our very own Caroline McGinn brings us the story of May Semones, a Berkeley musical student whose songs are helping her make a name for herself in the Boston area.
Was it there? Okay. Yeah.
Push me to the brink.
May Semones wanted to become a musician ever since she began piano lessons at the age of 4. As she grew up, her life became more and more centered around her musical endeavors as she began playing other instruments and songwriting.
I wanted to start playing guitar, which was inspired by, do you know the movie Back to the Future? And like the scene where like Marty like plays that Chuck Berry song, like Johnny Be Good. I saw that and I was like, I want to be able to do that.
Since learning to play guitar, May joined several bands, giving her opportunities to be in small performances as part of her community. During this time, she began writing music of her own. Something that sets May apart from the musical crowd is her use of 2 languages in her songs, English and Japanese.
I really like writing in Japanese because it just changes the way that I write, and it also allows me to connect with like that part of my identity in an artistic way, because I don't speak Japanese to anybody other than like my mom. So it's important for me to find an outlet for that, I guess. Before I would only write in English, and like I didn't really write a song that I genuinely really am proud of until I started writing in Japanese.
Despite her increasing pride in her music, growing confidence in her own skill, and unwavering support from family and friends, May often finds herself unfairly comparing herself to her peers.
I guess like there's always that doubt of like, am I like good at this? There's a lot of really talented people, so it's easy to compare yourself and be like, oh, I'm not doing what they're doing, I'm not playing these like shows, or like don't have as many streams or whatever as them. I guess that's like a hard thing, knowing that what I'm doing is important, even if it's not as like on a big scale.
Even when her confidence is low, May has never considered giving up her passion, and she continues to work hard to build her songwriting career. However, her connection with music stretches far beyond monetary gain.
For me, music is like a driving force in my life, and like what music gives me is like, it makes me feel good and like less alone. Playing it, listening to it, and so I guess like what I want to do with my music is like provide people with the same feeling of like, I just want people to feel like I'm not as alone, because that's like what music does for me.
For more of May's music, be sure to check out May Semones on Spotify, Instagram, and YouTube. For Aidan TV, this is Caroline McGinn.
I like that. It's different. I'll be downloading her music as soon as possible.
If you have a story that you would like us to produce, DM us on Instagram at Newton North TV.
Thanks everyone for watching, and have a fun and peaceful April break.